At the end of the day, you watch it, and obviously you're right there courtside. I would say the biggest difference in the game is that they, give them the credit. They played really well. I mean, they did. They beat us. When we give up 48% from the field and 44% from three, I thought we fouled them too much. They paraded to the foul line in the first half. Second half, a little bit less. The number's a little misleading because we fouled intentionally there a couple times late, tried to stop the clock. But all in all, our defense was not good enough. Having said that, I want to give them credit. Now, they made 10 threes. Sam Decker, who I gave him a lot of credit. He was 18% from three coming into the game. In the previous 9 Big Ten games, he made 4 out of 7 from three. A lot of those were at the end of the shot clock with the shot clock running down, and he made them. Stepped up and made them. Other guys made them as well at a high percentage for them. The difference in the game was the three-point shot. They went 10 for 23 from three. You make 10 threes at that percentage. We've got to defend better than that to be the best basketball team that this particular team can be. I thought a key juncture where we were getting stops was the first 7 minutes of the second half. And, again, give them credit. They pounded us on the glass. We were actually getting some stops at that juncture, and we couldn't get a rebound. And they were digging out some loose balls, and balls popped out. And they ended up, again, give them credit. They ended up getting those 50-50 balls that ended up, now you're guarding them again another 35 seconds as they're grinding the clock, and then they're making threes at the end of the clock. So all in all, a little bit different, tonight. I think, maybe 2 weeks ago, offensively, we weren't playing quite as well. I thought we played great offensively Saturday night. I thought today we were pretty good again offensively. I wasn't very happy about our 7 turnovers at halftime. I thought, 3 of them were just unforced on us. That we got to be better than that, especially in a lower possession game. But we ended up with 9, only 2 in the entire second half, so that was good. If you want to get picky offensively, obviously you go 10 for 22 on twos in the first half at 46%. In the second half, you go 7 for 20 or 21, whatever that number was, 35, 33% on twos in the second half. That's not going to get it done either. We got to find a way to stick it in the basket a little bit better. We did that in the first half. So, but all in all, I'm going to give them credit. They made plays. We'll take a look at the film and see what we can control to get better. But we tried. We played man. We played zone. They had the answer tonight with their shot making, especially from the three-point line. Questions for the players?
Joe, did you feel at any point the sort of the effort level, the intensity rise to where it was the other night in that 30-minute stretch when the team played so well?
I think we had a couple possessions like that. I don't think we had as much as we should have to win the game, but we definitely had glimpses of it where we were definitely tougher on the ball and just down in the stance harder. But once we can get the whole game like that, I think we'll make a lot of strides.
Coach says sometimes you play well offensively, not so well defensively, and vice versa. Where do you guys get that consistency from?
We just got to toughen up and be tough on defense at all times. I mean, be ready for whatever teams throw at us.
Joe, you've been through some ups and downs here. Just this continual fight. You guys keep fighting, but just to get over that hump in games like this, what do you guys do?
I don't think we just need to put both our defense and offense together. Like the last game, our defense was really good. This game, our offense was pretty good. Once we can get both of them going at the same time, I think we'll be better.
Ray, how frustrating is it not to be able to get a defensive stop in the final minutes?
I mean, it's real frustrating, but I mean, like I said, our whole team is like competitors, so I mean, it makes everybody mad when we can't get a stop. But I mean, we're just going to go back, watch the film, and see where we can get better at.
I think I may have left it downstairs. That's okay.
Anything else for these guys? Okay, we'll go.
All right, fellas. Questions?
I guess maybe you might not have the answer to it.
No, if I knew, I would have already done it. We're trying everything. and I do mean everything. The question was relative to consistency. Next question.
You were pleased, I think, after the last game in a lot of respects. Are there?
I think my gut tells me I'm going to watch it, and they beat us. They beat us. Their guys made plays. Sam Decker makes threes. They made plays. They got a positive assist-to-turnover ratio. They beat us on the glass. They got to the line 26 times. They made 10 threes. They converted their twos for the most part fairly well consistently throughout the game, and they played really, really well. Again, I singled out Decker just because he had made 18% from three and had been in a slump, Steve. Through 9 games, he had made 18%. Wasn't like 2 games or 3 games. And tonight he goes 4 for 7. And at least 2 of those, maybe more, were right at the end of the shot clock where he just raised up over a guy and nailed it. And got to give him credit, man. Players make plays. He made them, and there are other guys I thought on their team also made some plays. I thought Nigel Hayes was a load down low. But we threw everything at him tonight. And we trapped them. We changed coverage. We played zone. We tried any and everything tonight to try to slow them down. And, that was going into game 1. Ironically, I thought that them, Oregon, and Missouri were the 3 best offensive teams. Of course, I didn't even think. I'm cheating a little bit because I was looking at stats. They were the 3 best offensive teams that we had played. I know they had been through some tough times here lately shooting the ball, but tonight, unfortunately for us, and I'll watch the film and see how much of it was our defense, they look like the Wisconsin I saw lead coming into game 1, shooting the ball.
Asking kind of the same questions. Are answers harder to find this year?
No question. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I told Marcus, we're trying everything. I'm open to anything and everything. We talk about being solutions-based. We've talked about that before. We are going to continue to stay positive and fight. I do think we played hard. Were we able to muster up that energy level that we had the other night, which I think was Steve's question, not only for me but also for Joe? I don't know. I think Joe's answer was probably pretty accurate. At times, maybe, on some possessions. And I kept begging him for that. It's hard. It was 2 days in between games. I tried to do everything I could the last 2 days in terms of from a physical perspective to keep them fresh. So I don't know. I mean, we'll take a look at it. But, again, my gut tells me they kicked our tail. They won. They played better. Yeah, Ray played well. I thought Ray was really aggressive. I was really disappointed in our rebounding with other guys. I mean, Ray, I thought, was going up and snatching rebounds. He ended up, I think he had 6 defensive rebounds at halftime, had 9 for the game. But we had some of those other guys that were playing. I got into them a little bit that time out. We had some guys that were out there at that point for 20-some minutes that had 0 defensive rebounds, 1. I mean, that's unacceptable. I mean, it's bad. I thought that was really during that stretch where maybe we had a chance. And I know it was 3 there for a while, but maybe we had a chance to take the lead if we were getting some of those stops and we would have finished them off with rebounds. Because they were shooting 20-some% from the field in the second half for about 5 or 6 minutes at the beginning of the second half, but they kept getting extra shots, extra possessions, and we weren't able to dig out enough rebounds.
Any issues with John, with his legs?
I don't know, Steve. I mean, I didn't think, he's got to hunt more shots. I drew up 2 plays for him. He got 2 shots off on both those plays. I mean, he's got to be able to, figure out how to play off penetration a little bit better, and he's got to hunt more of them. He made the one there at the end we drew up out of the timeout.
Now, the guys are playing hard. What else can you ask of them to get a win?
Well, I think the execution piece is what we can try to get a little bit better at. Their attitude's pretty good. Effort's good. I've had people come to shoot around and they'd say, I'd have no idea your team's on a losing streak right now. That's good. I mean, they got good and they're positive. They got good fight for the most part, and they like being around one another, and they come ready to practice and all those things. Tonight we just weren't good enough. I mean, it's really that simple. I mean, we just weren't good enough tonight. They were better.
guys are doing everything they ask, but you can't execute?
Probably a little more frustrating the other night because I thought we played really well. Tonight, I don't know how well we played. You know, there were some things out there we could control. We made some mistakes. We can't make that many mistakes. Unfortunately, as I've said from the very beginning, everybody has to be hitting on all cylinders. We're not the type of team in this particular year where 2 or 3 veterans can have an off night, or we can have unforced turnovers. Some other teams might have a larger margin for error. I've coached some teams that have a larger margin for error with some of those things. You may say, like, 9 turnovers, coach, you're crazy. I mean, at one point you were 11th in the country in fewest turnovers. I think we went up a little bit, but we're still pretty good at it. But 7 in the first half was too many. Another team may be able to get away with that. But it's a 6-point game at the half. We turned it 7 times. 3 of them were live ball turnovers and just silly ball handling, passing decisions, and we can't afford to do that. Margin for error is very, very small.
Final questions here for Coach.
Coach, what effect did it have with only about 5,000 fans here?
Obviously, we'd love to have 16-6 like we had the other night, but I totally understand that. First of all, I appreciate the 4,000 that plus that came out. I mean, that they braved the snow, and of course our band. A lot of those kids, the band, they stay while the Orange Crush is gone. They stay over break, and volunteer to do that. So to make sure that we've got some type of environment in the building, even on break. So the band's great. Barry does a great job. The Orange Crush is great. I mean, they showed up more than even what I thought they would. So we're appreciative of that. I mean, I totally understand that. Safety is obviously everyone's first concern. Is it a bad break that we have a home game and we get blitzed by snow? Yeah, but I can't control that. Anybody else?
Thank you.
Thanks.